Ada, aka the Flexibility Guru. So I just got done with a 3-week journey of Beachbody's Ultimate Reset. So it was a 3-week clean eating program, and it also comes with supplements to help you basically detoxify your body and then replenish it with the proper minerals and probiotics and prebiotics. And you're transitioning into a vegan diet, so you're eliminating meat and dairy. There's no gluten in there. I found the program overall was great. I was full all the time. The meals were pretty big portions. All of the recipes were good. I didn't like the miso soup, but I don't like soy, so I'm pretty sure that was why after one bite I spit it out. So the meals were really good. I was full all the time, and by like day 10 I was like surging with energy and just felt amazing. By day 12 my skin had become much softer, and I was just feeling more alive, feeling like I had more vitality. I still do. But it was a pretty easy journey. The 3 weeks went by fast. It's split into 1-week phases. So there's different supplements each week and different recipes each week. So it felt like it went by really quick because you were only kind of focused on that 1-week chunk. And then the next week you're focused on week 2. And by week 3, it's like, oh my God, I only have 7 days left, 6 days, 5 days, 4 days. And then it's like, wow, I'm done. So I felt like 3 weeks, like on committing to it, it felt like a long time, but in doing it, it felt like no time at all. So that was awesome. My weight loss was a little altered because basically by week 2, I had lost 7 pounds. And then I got done with the road trip and had a pretty big setback for a couple days health-wise. Was stuck in bed completely for a full day, and then just like a day of recovering. And I was just feeling so weak that I didn't follow the plan exactly for week 3, and I bumped up my meals with nuts in the morning to add more fat and calories. And at lunch or dinner, I would add avocado or beans. So I was bumping up the nutrition every meal and trying to get more calories so I could regain my strength. So the overall weight loss only ended up being like, I think 2 pounds. So I went from losing 6 pounds to gaining 4 pounds for an overall weight loss of like 2 pounds. So it wasn't a lot of weight loss, but my chest went down 1/4 of an inch, my waist went down 1/2 an inch, my hips went down 1/2 an inch, my thighs, one went down 3/4 of an inch and one went down 1/4 of an inch. The knee, one went down 1 1/4 inches and the other went down 1 3/4 inches. The calf, one went down 1 inch and one went down 1/2 an inch. The bicep, each one went down 1/2 an inch. So overall, I lost 7.75 inches, and that was only 2 pounds. So that's what's interesting about, like, always take your measurements, because the number on the scale doesn't really factor everything into consideration. If you're losing fat, gaining muscle, the number on the scale could go up, but the inches, the size you're wearing in your clothes, could go down. So the number on the scale is not important to pay attention to. The reset is over. It's been 21 days. Here are the after results. I'm self-conscious, so I always feel like it's weird to be in a bikini, but here it is. Side, I guess I should get further away. Before, after. My skin has improved. It's just freckles now, no pimples, I don't think. I still have one pimple on my face.
Doesn't even feel like anything though.
That's it. So I felt like the top 6 benefits I got from the Ultimate Reset is that I gained more energy and I feel healthier. I feel like I have more vitality, just like this natural energy coursing through me that wasn't there before. The weight loss, I know I only lost a couple pounds, but I feel like I leaned out more, and like 7 inches is still a good amount, like, right? So yeah, I lost almost 8 inches in circumference, so that's a good loss. I feel good in my body. I am now like getting more motivated to start working out again. I have the energy to work out, so now I can actually start working out and start changing my body through workouts and not just nutrition, because these last 4 years, like, my only tool has really been nutrition to stay in shape. So I'm looking forward to the next step in my journey. I think it's great to get weight loss without even exercising, so that was like definitely a benefit too. I love that the skin on my body is so much softer now, so I think that's a great benefit. I know it's kind of weird, but it's just kind of like anytime you touch your skin, you're like, oh wow, so soft. And then I thought this was a good kind of elimination diet to cut out different common allergens and toxins. The one thing I didn't really like is that they put a lot of soy in this program, and soy is not a health food. It is a byproduct that has been heavily invested in marketing and they've turned it into a health product. Yes, it is good for your heart, but it is terrible for your hormonal system, and it can lead to breast cancer. If you've had breast cancer, your doctor will outright tell you not to eat soy. So I really found it kind of bizarre that it had so much aminos, miso soup, and tempeh was throughout the Ultimate Reset. And I was just kind of like mind boggled by that part of it. I was like, this doesn't make any sense at all. But I just didn't eat those things. So I just felt like that was kind of, I really feel like that should be tweaked, because most elimination diets, they will also tell you to cut out soy. And so if this program didn't have the soy recommended in it, it would be even more of an elimination diet for people to do to rule out different health issues and allergens. So I felt like that was kind of a weak spot in the program, but obviously, like, it doesn't affect everybody, so 3 weeks of eating soy isn't going to give you cancer. I don't think. And then ultimately, I just feel more secure in my routine. I know, like, I am sticking to these eating habits. I see kind of where I've been a baby and cheating on my diet in different areas, and like that it does take a toll, even if you're still eating clean. Like, you know, processed food is processed food. And I think that's one thing I was careful of when doing the reset is, like, you know, usually I'll buy like frozen veggies, and I was more careful not to do that this time, because you just don't know once something's in a package what they've done to it. So when you buy broccoli from the produce section, yes, it's sat on a truck for days, and it's taken a really long time to actually get to you and get to your grocery store and get to your house. So the freshness can die in that process. So in that sense, they say frozen vegetables are better for you, because they're basically plucked, washed, and frozen immediately. So the nutritional value is the highest. It is actually like frozen in its ripest state. But the problem is with manufacturing, essentially back in the 1970s, they created a list of over 1,500 safe chemicals that can be put on any of your food products and not be put on the label. And because of this, I'm like, I don't know if it's really just broccoli in my frozen broccoli bag. Or I don't know if I get it from, like last night I used a frozen mix and it had like shredded broccoli, shredded carrot, shredded potato. And I'm like, I don't know what they've done to this. Like they shredded it. Did they soak it in something? Like, did they try to add some type of preservative that's on this safe list? But we know technology back in the 1970s is not what it is today. So if they ran these 1,500 chemicals through clinical trials again and actually tested their safety on humans, who knows if they'd get approved. So I think I'm definitely going to be cutting out more of the processed foods because my diet's not all that different from this, but I had major changes by following this diet. So it's just something I'm going to be kind of watching and monitoring and seeing if I notice any difference. Maybe I'll do a week of eating frozen packaged foods and a week of eating raw fresh foods and see, what feels better in my body. Overall, like, I've always had a hard time transitioning to a vegan diet. I find dairy very challenging to cut out of my system. So I always tend to turn to yogurt, and now that I've found a couple different types of vegan yogurt I like by doing this program, that helped. And so now I know like I have a vegan yogurt I can turn to. The other thing I have a really hard time cutting out is cheese, and so that I'm really gonna try hard not to go back to overall. There's enough cheese alternatives out there now that it doesn't really, there's quite a few like decent options. The only issue I have with the fake cheeses is that they don't melt right. So actually on this road trip before I started the reset, I was in Tampa and ordered pizza from this place that was like supposed to be one of the top pizza places in the nation to eat at. And they had a crazy amount of like different types of pizzas, but they had cauliflower crust, they had gluten-free, and they had vegetarian, and they had vegan options. And so I got a vegan pizza, and it was good. Like everything about it was good except the cheese. It just doesn't melt right. So I'm really gonna try hard not to go back to dairy, because I do notice when I have cheese the next morning when I wake up, I have like that post-nasal drip and can be more congested. Sometimes I have like a white coating on my tongue. So I just want to be careful with the dairy, and like now that I've finally got it out of my system, it's time to keep it out of my system. And the same with gluten. Now that I've essentially been, actually I need to check if the Minos have gluten in them. But I think I've essentially been gluten-free for 3 weeks too, so I'll try to keep that out of my system. It's good to just kind of cut out these common allergens so that your body can just thrive. Just why bother it with more issues? So I guess overall I would say that I thought the reset was really easy to do. I thought I do have the advantage where I already eat very clean, so I feel like that gave me a little bit of an edge. And the fact that these last few years of being chronically ill, I have done so many detoxes and cleanses and nutrition programs to try to heal. And so I've been on some extreme diets over the last couple of years to try to fix my body. And so this one just felt like pretty easy compared to some of the medical ones that I was on. So I definitely know that I have a skewed perspective on this, but I do think for most people this would be an easy plan to follow. The meal prep was always easy. The meals are quick to make. I don't feel like I ever spent more than like 15 minutes in the kitchen. And I think most people would have more weight loss than I got. That's been my experience with other coaches and clients and different people I know that have done the reset. They have lost closer to like 20 pounds by the end of it. So I think like to do a 3-week program and to always feel full, to be getting healthy food, to be feeling better and better every day, and then by the end of the 3 weeks, like feel amazing. Like, why wouldn't you want to do this? So I'm letting it inspire me to like continue my clean eating and like stay on this journey. The 21-day journey is over, but I'm gonna continue my clean eating habits because it's obvious I was eating clean before, but those little cheats that I had were affecting my body. Like my skin is really, really soft now and it wasn't before. So something changed in my body chemistry overnight that I feel like is a sign of health that I don't want to lose. So I'm trying to use the reset now as like motivation to stay on course and do it even better. Yeah, I think that's a benefit that probably some people don't talk about, is that by doing the reset, you're changing your relationship with your food and your eating habits and becoming more aware of like, you know, like I became highly aware of like I have a whiny little child in my head that tells me I want things, but if I don't give it what it wants, it doesn't really care. You know, like it's just kind of like, no, you can't go out to eat tonight. Okay. So it's kind of like, I think before I was letting my inner voice dictate my actions, and now I can have like that voice of authority saying, no, you're not going to do that, because the long-term benefits or short-term benefits aren't worth it, you know? So I had a great experience on the 21-day reset. I did feel like that last week of vegan eating was a little too low calorie, but that's just me and my preferences. And I was in a weak state and kind of losing what felt like too much weight. So I had to bump up the calories for my own well-being, but I think everyone's different. That's all I've got. So if you're interested in doing the ultimate reset, I am a Beachbody coach, so I can coach you through the whole program and be there for you for support. If you want to do it with a group of friends, we can do it in a group format too. I will probably run a couple reset programs in the year when it's ideal for cleansing. So that's actually the springtime and the fall. It's kind of the best points for the cleanse. So actually right now, March, April is the ideal time to cleanse. It's a change of seasons, spring cleaning, change from that winter hibernation mode to the spring transformation mode. And yeah, let me know if you want in, because I feel great and I want to help others feel great. So that's what I'm here to do. If you have any questions, let me know, leave a comment or send me a message, and I will see you here next week.